Hi everyone, it's Rax. Let's look at a GR147 solo God DH clear. I will be going for 150 soon, but I wanted to start with a 147, which is still a very, very hard tier. It's very hard to kill the boss, as you will see. And what you're fishing for is a Missile Dampener Elite, as many of them as you can get, which will dramatically increase your damage. So we open a big booty battlefields and we have a missile dampener at the door, which is amazing. So my goal here is to not shoot close to the missile dampener. You're going to see me try to stay quite far ahead of him as long as I can still see him following, because I don't want my hungering arrows to kill him. I only want it to kill the trash and anything else around, and the missile dampener magnifies your damage so significantly that I don't even have to worry about really positioning other than not killing him or anything like that. Just literally as I walk through the rift, everything is going to die. Missile dampener is kind of like having a conduit pylon. So we're just moving on forward here. Quite easy. And just going to gather everything and drag it with me, hopefully get a conduit and kill all of the elites. Whenever I decide to actually stop and fight, I will kill that missile dampening elite in the blink of an eye. So I'm just trying to get the trash moved on up here, trying to get it into the missile dampening aura without hurting my little friend who's casting it. Okay, it appears that we have a lot of the big booties getting in there. Looks like he's still at half health, so that's good. And you can see just essentially walking through the rift, we are even, which is amazing at this tier. I will take that all day long. The problem with God DH, which is different than you'll see me doing on the Necromancer 150 or the Monk or the Barb pushes, if you've seen those videos, is the Demon Hunter takes way longer to kill the Guardian. God DH is not a good Rift Guardian killer, so we need a multiple minute lead and preferably a power for the boss to really have any chance. So even though we're even right now, and that's great, we need to make up a lot of time right now. This will certainly not be good enough to win here. So we keep on moving forward. The missile dampener is still alive. We've gotten tremendous value out of him through this rift because we aren't sitting right next to him firing hungering arrows. So if you're pushing God DH, make sure that you employ the same tactics. Treasure your missile dampener, buy them presents, give them kisses, but not hugs. You have to blow them kisses from a distance because if you get close, they're going to die. So now, at this point, we are at the end of the battlefields, and I have no use for this missile dampener anymore. So you're going to see me being much more aggressive, being much closer to the missile dampener itself, and just dealing as much damage as I possibly can. And you can see that very quickly he's going to get erased out of existence, and then we're going to go next and hopefully have something completely amazing. Okay, we go next. We have another battlefields with Dark Hellions and a conduit. That is absolutely incredible. But remember, if you watched my Barb video, battlefields don't give you a checkpoint. So I normally pause and think about it, but now I realize there's only one play to make. I need to go all the way through this battlefields. I need to get the next checkpoint. And then I need to drag everything back to that conduit. So you quickly see me run through the whole battlefields. It's a hell rift, that's fine. And now we're going backwards and we're going to go to the conduit. My plan is when I get all, there's going to be 5 elites here. When I get all 5, as I get destroyed, when I get all 5 elites on that conduit, I'm going to take it. I'm going to go previous to the first battlefields. I'm going to zap all the elites that are hurt there. I'm going to go forward, zap the 5 elites, and hopefully get an octa kill. And then I'm going to die on purpose and revive at checkpoint to port to the Hell Rift so I don't have to walk through this map again. So this is the correct implementation of the checkpoint shenanigans, whereas if you looked at my Barb 142 clear, that's completely butchering it. And because Battlefields doesn't have a checkpoint, I had to go next and pray it wasn't a Battlefields. That way I could actually teleport forward. But anyway, here we go. We are bringing everything forward. We are killing all the trash as we go because we aren't going to have really an opportunity to kill this trash again. Killing the trash here, and we're just hoping to bring the elites to the conduit pylon. So we keep on moving forward. Got a nice little Oculus ring, and we just want to kill the Dark Hellions. And unfortunately, my Demon Hunter is very, very squishy. I'm not using Elusive Ring here. To do these tiers, you pretty much have to throw on Mantle of Channeling. Makes you a little bit stronger, but it costs you a ton of defense. So my Demon Hunter at times is just like a little paper plate and can be destroyed at a moment's notice. So I'm really, really trying to avoid that. So we keep on bringing the elites. And I just want to erase the trash. We have a slight lead, and remember, we're about to have a mega conduit. So if we can get all of these elites there, so this is going to be quite good as I get erased out of existence. Sometimes that happens playing DH. Sometimes you just get vaporized. With the way that my cooldown is, there is a super slight downtime in my Vengeance sometimes, and if they hit me exactly in that moment, I'm essentially dead. Probably what happened there. Anyway, doesn't matter. We got a conduit, gotta just keep playing. I cannot revive at checkpoint anymore, because if I do that, it'll teleport me to the next map. We're only using that tactic after the conduit. So I just need to hurt this trash as much as possible. Conduit has a maximum number of enemies it can zap at a time. So if there is trash literally everywhere, well, I'm never going to get to kill anything with my conduit, and we're going to leave elites alive. That's why it's very important to me that I kill as much of this trash as possible. Okay, we head on up here. I did not realize there was another lip up here. And unfortunately, something quite bad happens. We spawn a power pylon. That's not good, because what I wanted to happen was I wanted to Condi a million elites, port to the next map, and spawn the power there. So now it becomes a simple math problem. Can I finish the rest of the rift with what I have here with the conduit pylon? So at this point in time, I've got to go back and think about how many elites did I leave alive at the end of the previous battlefields? And do I have all 5 elites here with the trash? And is that value enough to fill up that purple bar and finish? So I'm doing my best to remember, but I'm going to be completely honest with you, I can't perfectly remember. So I'm doing my best to calculate it, and what I end up deciding is I am not going to spawn the boss here. Even with the conduit, even with killing all of this trash, even with killing all the elites at the door previous, and killing every elite that I've dragged forward, I will not spawn the Guardian even after all of that. So what that means is I should take the power now. I should take the power and wipe out the trash very quickly, and then take the Condi, zap everything, die on purpose, port to the next map, and hope that I can quickly spawn the boss, and I'm going to have to fight it without power. I should have a multiple minute lead, but you're going to see how bad GoD is on the boss at this tier. That is not going to guarantee that I'm going to win. So if there's any universe where I can use this power for the boss, I should. But I'm going to trust my instincts. I've done a lot of pushing across a lot of different seasons, and I do not think that I can spawn here. I think it's going to be very close, but I don't think it's enough. So instead, I will use the power to wipe out the trash, and then we're going for the conduit. Trying to get the rest of our friends up here. We're almost back to the beginning of the floor. And I just need to use this power pylon as much as I can, especially in the cold cycle of my convention of elements, to wipe out all of this extra stuff. And then we go Condi and pray that it's enough to kill everything. So the power is doing work. You can see pretty much all the trash is gone. It's pretty much just elites left. So it's getting to be about that time. Here's cold, one more cold, throw it through everything, take the damage, and it's just time to YOLO it. You know, eventually you gotta send it and go for it. So I go previous. Got a couple of elites here. I think there's a couple of elites that didn't quite make it with us, or that died along the way with the missile dampener. So there's one elite down. So this is only going to be 6 elites if we do it perfectly. So it looks like my calculations will be correct. It should be that we barely don't spawn the boss, but let's see. And we are zapping everything down. We have a lead that sort of resembles what we might need to kill a boss. Okay. This makes me think there's other elites alive. I've got some Condi left. Can I find them? Did they get stuck? Here's a little Reaper right here. There he is. 96%. Was very close. 97, but we made the right choice. Okay, so I sit here. I purposely let them kill me. Kill me, kill me, kill me. There we go. And now I can port. At the checkpoint, teleport to the next map. I need 3%. That is a tough task on Bogans, but we have a missile dampener. Again, that was pretty lucky. So it shouldn't be that much of an issue anymore. So just need to shoot into the missile dampener and they should die quite quickly. Come on, guys. Give me the boss. And that's the lead that we have for Tethris with no pylon. So now it's just a matter of not dying and fighting him the best that I possibly can. I mean, I posted this video, so you probably already know that it's going to be a clear, but my chat and I are discussing about whether it's going to be a clear, and my prediction here was it's going to barely be a fail. So that's the amount of time on the bar. That's the lead that you would need to get a clear at this tier. And of course, 150 is much, much harder than that. You would need an even bigger lead if you don't have power. So I guess while we fight Tethris, the things that went wrong here are I didn't drag all the elites from the first battlefields. If I would have dragged them all successfully with the missile dampener, the Condi would have been enough to spawn for us, and we would have been able to use the power for Tethris. That would have made a huge difference. It would have been a lot easier. Another thing is unfortunately, with the layout of that battlefields, the windy, twisty, turny way that it was, it took me a lot longer to bring everything to the door than it would have. Another thing, if we're talking about, you know, the most crazy RNG we could possibly have, it would have been a lot better to spawn a boss like Saxtress. It would have been much better. Another thing that could have went way better is if the second battlefields also had a missile dampener. I mean, that would have cut minutes off of my time. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to paint a picture to you of what kind of a fish it is to get a 150. This was a pretty damn good rift. It was a big booty battlefields with a missile dampener. So we essentially wiped it all out. We had Condi and power. And the next map was a Dark Hellion battlefields. So battlefields, one of them had a missile dampener and one of them had a very, very godly mob type. And this is just barely enough to clear 147, and 150 is like more than 50% harder than a 147. So I just want to paint the picture of how much more difficult it is to clear 150 than this tier, and the amount of keys we're going to have to plug to try to get that kind of meteoric luck. Anyway, we're continuing to work on Tethris. We have about half of his HP down with much more than half of our time elapsed. But remember, we are stacking Bane of the Stricken. That means every successful hit that we land on the boss is going to deal more damage. So the second half of his health bar is going to go down way quicker than the first half. And you can see that the damage is going to ramp up a lot when you see my convention of the elements switch to cold. It's in physical right now. Here comes cold. And you can see that there is much more movement on the bar when we hit that element. So eventually we will start crushing him, but it just takes so many minutes to get to that point that it's very, very tough to deal with. So the question I have for you, with a couple seconds left, this last minute counting down, how many seconds do you think I'm going to have left when I kill Tethris? Just make a mental guess. When I first started fighting Tethris, my initial guess was I was going to fail. And some of the chat said, oh, you got it easily, or, oh no, it's definitely a fail. But what's going to be the actual time here? Well, this next cold is going to tell us a lot. So here's physical. Let's see what the cold does for us. Okay, that was good, but we're running out of time. I think we got one more cold. These are the kind of nail-biting moments that make this game a lot of fun. I'm glad that we finally got this down. All I have to say to Tethris, with 2 seconds left, is sayonara. We'll go for 150 soon, guys. I hope to see you guys on the live stream. Let's see if we can hit the insane RNG that is required to get probably one of the hardest clears in Diablo 3, getting a 150 solo GoD in season 22. I'll see you guys there. Thank you.